Vamos a ver quién anda por aquí. Hola, hola. Vamos a ver si invito a un par de personas y si no, pues lo ven luego. ¿Ok? Sí. A ver quién anda por ahí. Déjame ver. Ah, ahí viene mi primer persona. Ya se fue. Bienvenidos a Viva la Kultura una vez más. Y esta tarde tenemos una presentación especial porque, bueno, no sé si ustedes saben y conocen lo que es ser una doula, pero una doula es una persona que está y representa las mujeres embarazadas y está con ellas, las entrena, las educa, y de eso vamos a hablar un poquito más. Así que si usted tiene interés en este tema es bien cultural porque data de muchos años antes y hasta el sol de hoy. Y hoy en día ha sido una tremenda, ha cogido un boom tremendo. Así que vamos a hablar de eso un poquito y para eso vamos a tener una invitada que está en el baño, así que si ven un rayo es la cámara. Vamos a tener una invitada que está ahora mismo ocupadita, pero viene ya mismito. Así que yo espero, déjame ver si yo puedo invitar a par de personas que me hagan preguntas. Las entrevistas en inglés, tienen que estar bien pendientes, que es en inglés. ¿Ok? Si no entienden algo, pues me avisan. Adelante, Hayley Wolf. She's my personal trainer, but don't get wrong. I mean, you see that little thing is the phone. Don't get wrong. She's my doula trainer, and I just have to have my certification. Mm-hmm. Woohoo! After
She's
a year.
Finished today. Yay! I know, it was a long time coming, huh?
I know. That's sad. Well, don't get stressed if you don't see nobody. Like, I don't know what happened with this live, but it's very hard for me to get people on this live.
Oh, you're totally fine.
Page. But I will. I promise. I will. I will be like sharing this video a lot.
Oh, you're totally fine.
So Hayley, tell me a little bit about doula. I know that a lot of people, they don't know exactly what a doula is. So can you just tell me?
Yes. So we've been working on this doula training throughout this week, but just to share with you guys, a doula is a person who goes with a family to their birthplace when they're expecting. They help them along the way through pregnancy as well with preparing for that birth, and they're there to support that family as they welcome their baby. So there's a lot of physical support to just make labor a little bit easier to cope with. And there's emotional support to just help them, feel safe and loved on and that their space is being honored. And yeah, just to help them have the happiest, most positive experience that they're hoping for when they welcome their baby.
Oh yeah, to have a baby is not, people, having a baby is not only to scream out loud, I want to have a baby! I'm not having it, so hold on. No, nothing like that. You can have an amazing birth, and I think that you have a yes, come on, share, invita personas, please, invite people. So having a baby could be an amazing experience.
Yes.
Not only a traumatized, I have a baby.
Right. It can be the greatest, most incredible thing you've ever done, or it can be the most traumatizing thing.
Yes.
So
how's that?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be your doula because you're gonna have a traumatized moment.
Well, we are there to help moms through whatever comes their way.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes in birth, sometimes scary stuff can happen. But if you have somebody walking you through and knows kind of what to expect in different scenarios, you just have that person, that steady anchor that kind of walks you through those processes.
To make the moment less traumatized.
Yeah, so that you can look, because every woman, no matter what, they are going to always remember the birth of their baby. And so we want them to walk away having some happy memories, even if there's a tough circumstance that comes up.
All right. So yes. Okay. So a doula is the person to have in birth. Whoever can be like a doula, like a whatever person in the family or whatever person in the street.
Well, since I'm a doula trainer, I'm a big fan of people being trained. So I attend a lot of births where maybe the birthing mom, her mom comes. So grandma is there and she's like my co-doula and we work together great and it's really, really awesome. For the most part, most people, unless they've been trained to be a doula, they're not so much a doula. It's really hard to see someone that you love or that you care about go through something hard like labor. So kind of like people who are going to run a marathon, their mom's not going to coach them through that. They're going to hire a trainer who knows what to expect. Exactly. So it's nice for the whole family to have someone who's just kind of that calm in the storm, who knows what to expect, who can smile at you when you're making the scary face like, oh my gosh, this is
and it's not like,
yes, this is good. This is good.
Okay, good. So, but before time when, maybe you and I were born, because, people, we're young. We're doulas, but we're still young and sassy. So, so before, our era, doulas have existed. Like they actually
absolutely
exist.
Yes.
But they didn't have any training as we do today.
Well, before women coming up, women had more of a tribal community where they were together with each other. If your sister or your cousin or your neighbor, whoever was having the baby, everybody pitched in. Somebody watched the kids. Some of them went and tended to that mom. And now we live kind of in a culture where we don't have that quite as much anymore. And so it makes it a little bit harder. Or for example, I'm in a community with a lot of military, and so they are stationed where I live, but their families are far away, and so maybe their mom would be a really great doula to them, but she's not able to make it there when they have the baby. Okay. And so then they're able to have a trained professional come and help them.
Okay, great. Someone who actually knows about what's going to happen and help them out. Yes. And not get run in the middle of a scream or something.
Right. Okay. Yes.
Got it. So saying this, it's important to get certified, right? But why now? Why now to get certified? What do we have in the environment, maybe legally talking, or I don't know, you comment that family is not around. Maybe they are not prepared. We have been settled like a birth as something wrong. I don't know. Why being certified?
Well, all of those reasons. So, certification is helpful because then you haven't just seen your sister and your cousin have a baby and you've seen a couple of births, you don't know all the things yet. And so when you go through a certification program like Birth Boot Camp, you do a comprehensive childbirth class, which means you learn a lot. You know what to expect at home births and hospital births and what happens if someone transfers from home to the hospital. You learn about what happens in cesareans. You get a really, really good foundation. You also have to observe some births. There are several books to read. So you need to be the person in the room. But she did. She completed everything. We're not care providers, so we're not doctors or midwives. We're not in charge of the health, but we understand birth on an intimate level more so than what the average person does.
So saying that, and I have to say it in both languages, so we are not midwives.
No.
Nosotras no somos parteras, ¿ok? No parteras, no cachamos el bebé, no lo sacamos, no hacemos exámenes vaginales, no vaginal exams or something.
Right.
So that might be for another type of person, which is the midwife, right? We are not midwives. So we are the doula who actually is going to support, okay? Support and encourage that mom to have the safest and best birth.
Yeah, right? Just a good experience. We want it to be loving and happy and wonderful. We don't want her to cry on her baby's birthday because she's sad. We want her to cry because she's happy.
Yes. And let me ask you, why do you, let's talk about you as a person. Haley is a person, she's a doula, but doula is a person. So, question. How long have you been a doula?
So I have been a doula. I've been attending births since... I'm trying to think of how old my baby daughter is because she's the youngest. So since the spring of 2014.
Oh, okay. Okay. And then why, you were something else before. You were a teacher.
I was a school teacher.
And then why the change from a school teacher to a birth and labor teacher?
Well, there are a few different reasons. I was a school teacher and then I had several babies and they were really young and it was just really expensive to put everybody in childcare.
So you made it as a side?
Yeah, so I started staying home with my kids, but I needed something for me, and I also had this really, really great birth experience with my fourth baby. It was the first time I went natural with no drugs, and I had a doula, and it was awesome. And of course I was like, Everybody needs to have a doula.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how it started. I needed something for me and also, fun supplemental income at the time. And now it's grown to more than that. But that's kind of how it started.
Oh, okay.
Like my own positive experience, like having a doula inspired me a lot.
Okay. And then you decide, I can be a doula. Why you said I can be a doula? Because I can say, I can be a doula, but I really don't like people. Or I'm a very non-happy person. So I will be like, yes, you're going to have your baby. Yeah, push now. Oh, good. You're doing good.
Yeah.
And then what makes you feel that you, Haley, were good to be a doula?
Well, I think, it's just like anybody who has a passion for whatever it is that they're like really passionate about and that they love. And for me, when I walked away having this awesome experience with my fourth baby after having 3 different experiences that weren't so great, I was like, I can do this. Like, this is amazing. Like, my life was changed. It just opened my eyes to something different and, just made me feel passionate about it. And I am a people person. I'm not sure that you can be a doula if you're not a people person. And it's not just about being a people person. You also have to be kind of a people reader and kind of meet them where they are and be able to show empathy and just be that supportive person, the favorite aunt of the family, if you will.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. Because, we always love an aunt. But then you have to know which one, right?
Yes.
So that's good. So that was your cue, And then you started, and then Birth Bootcamp, was born. How was that? Let me do the explanation. Birth Bootcamp is the company that actually I went to study for my certification in Doula, and I will go further than that. But they service lots of things. Like their service for classes and for classes for people who actually are in labor, are going to be in labor, and they do trainings, and they do lots of things. But are you the owner?
No, I am not the owner. So our founder is Donna Ryan, and she actually was a childbirth educator. She still is a childbirth educator. She's been doing it for years and years and years and years. And she got so busy, she actually had people who were, telling all of their friends, like, I took this birth class with Donna Ryan and it was so great and we learned so much. And so she created Birth Boot Camp so that she'd be able to have people be able to watch online classes so they can watch the childbirth classes and prepare by watching it online. And then she had other birth professionals that she worked with that said, Donna, I want to teach this. And so they made a certification program to teach.
At that time?
That's how the childbirth education piece came. So that actually came first.
And then you being a doula, or
and
it was
then
like
after
that,
that, so that program was launched. I actually found out about Birth Boot Camp right before they launched. Because I have a YouTube channel, and I posted my birth video from when I had my baby at the hospital. And at the time, Birth Boot Camp was organizing everything and getting birth videos for the people who were watching the classes to be able to watch. And they found mine. I was like, wait, who is this? And they want to use my birth video. And that's kind of how I found out about them. And then when I had my next baby was when I decided, oh my gosh, like I'm just going to certify. This will be great preparation just for me if I want to prepare anyway, because it was going to be my first home birth. I was having my baby at home and I wanted to be prepared. So I went through training to become a childbirth educator. So I did that first. And then shortly after I became certified, Birth Boot Camp developed the doula training. And so that came about basically as a product of the childbirth education, because in our education, we talk about how important it is to have a good support system, and we highly recommend doulas. And so then we were having all these students who were saying, well, who do we hire? We need to have a doula. And so the doula program was kind of born out of necessity.
And did they count on you, and then you were actually part of the process of building it?
Yes, so it was a process of over a few years' time in the development, and there have been some changes because we want to get it right. And I work closely with Alexa Gum. She's actually our lead doula trainer. So she's been with Donna kind of from the beginning when they were getting everything together. And she and I have worked together to develop what we have currently for our doula training.
Which is amazing. I think that a lot of people can do it. I think that women who are looking for something else, and if you are a people's person, definitely you will get, you have to have it. No matter you don't do it as a big job, like your main job, you should do it just because you never know when people will need you. That's very interesting. So okay. So, and how all these changes affect your family way of life?
Well, so I've actually kind of pulled the reins a little bit because we might have some life changes happening, but gradually things got busier and busier, and being on call, because you have these clients who you have to be ready to pick up the phone when they call you and say, I'm in labor. And so that can be difficult. You know, you have to, because I have 5 kids, and so you have to have a support system in place. Like if you're going to serve a lot of different women, then you need to make sure that you have a support system in place so that you can make sure that your home and your family is still being taken care of. So that was probably the biggest challenge.
So your kids.
Yes. And I think for most doulas, it's just an ongoing challenge. Like let's say you get pregnant and you have another baby, then you've got to push the pause to serve other people because you have to, serve your family. So
your kids love it?
My kids like it. My older daughter thinks it's a little bit weird. She's like, Mom talking about the birth stuff again.
Here we go. But it's like my daughter.
My little one loves it.
My daughter is telling great subject. And I mean, we understand about family. My kids were growing in a fine arts family, and we actually talk a lot about cultural stuff and music. And she told me, Mom, I don't want you to die. So why is that?
I don't want you to die either.
If you die, I have to take care of the company and teach dance. So I don't know if you remember that, but I do. So it is intense sometimes for my family and for kids to hear the same thing. But then guess what? Whenever they go outside in the street, they are your copy, and they repeat. No, I know about that subject because my mom.
Yes.
That. But they never say that your mom. That's going to be the last sentence. I know about dance because this is incorrect, and I know it's incorrect. Yes. Why? Then you say because my mom is a dance teacher, and in your case, it would be like, Mom, my mom is a doula, and I know.
So I already see that. Even though my oldest thinks it's a little bit weird, she's like if I tell her something, oh, so and so in this, and she's like, well, why would they do X, Y, Z? Like she knows.
She knows.
So, and even if like, she doesn't grow up to be a doula, which she probably won't, and that's totally great. She knows, and that gives me hope that someday, if she decides to start a family, that she'll be at least prepared with some information, and not be terrified. I don't want her to be afraid to have babies.
No, please. That's the least that we want. My daughter, I remember, she was looking a lot, in the Google. She calls me a lot for when she has her baby, my baby Emma. So, we were talking a lot about, all other things. Then I was with her at the hospital. We did some squats. I mean, then I was looking a lot in Google and in my knowledge of the general knowledge that we actually have. And then she surprised me because she did. She
had her research.
She did research a lot. Good. She couldn't have like a natural birth like we wanted, but yes, she did have a lot of afterbirth natural things. Like she nurses until I think that she's still in some point. She did a lot of healthy natural eating, and it has been nice for her. Then after that, when I decide to be a midwife and a doula, I said, I need to do this. There's a plan. If I want to be a midwife, I have to be a doula first because I need to see the area, I want to know exactly the emotion.
Stepping stone, yeah.
Yes, and I think it's great. But I want you to tell me, cultural wise, doula, how doula is impacting, is that good?
Yeah.
Now, the environment, the people.
Like the culture of birth itself.
Still nursing 3 years.
Oh, yay, that's so good. Yeah. The best thing about a 3-year-old that nurses is that they can say thank you. Does
Emma say thank you?
I love that. So the culture of birth and how doulas influence it. So it can go either way, would she say? say?
Oh yeah, she did. Yeah, that's something that I actually have in mind. She was doing yoga for
to prepare. Yeah, that's really helpful.
For birth. How is it pregnant?
Yeah, like pregnancy yoga?
Yes, yes.
It's
and
really
that's something that I really was wondering. Remember yesterday we talked a little bit of what I wanted to do, how I'm going to connect the doula with other things that I do. Is like to have someone, I don't do yoga, I don't teach. I might do some, exercises, but how to teach yoga have that access to the people. Because I think it's great, for them and everything, all the exercises that we have done, they're great. And and it looks like a little bit of a yoga.
It mostly is. Yeah. The birth boot camp. Are you talking about birth boot camps, like the exercise portion?
Well, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's mostly, it's not anything hardcore. We're not having you go out and do like a crazy military boot camp workout.
Put your leg behind your neck.
It's basic stuff just so that you can feel confident in your body's ability to just move, like climb in and out of the bed and like squat and to be able to lunge or, hold a certain position for a while. So it's a lot of yoga type
awesome
stuff. Yeah.
So going back into the culture matters, I really wanted to know what's the impact on the doula, which is people think that doula are like all curanderas or witches from the past, that we have to be old and have a lot of herbs, which actually are good though. And who knows me, you know that I use a lot. I have another baby. If I have another baby, I would love to have a home birth, or at least having a doula, which I count on you to have
there you
me.
Go. That is funny. Yeah, you should totally have a home birth. You would love it. I had my very, very last of 5 was a home birth, and it was really, really incredible. It was right for us, for our family. Aww. It's not, people have varying opinions about it, but if you are interested in it, I say go for it.
Yes.
But like culturally, as far as doulas go, because there's that stereotype, like hippie weirdos.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's why I think that a good quality training is really, really important, because you kind of learn, we talk a lot, right, about like navigating through the traditional hospital system, because they're not the enemy. Like we all have a common goal. Our common goal is healthy moms and babies, and doulas are kind of stepping in to also help. Let's make sure that they have a good, positive experience. Let's know what their birth goals are, because it isn't just about the healthy mom and baby. Like that is the primary goal, but it's not the only goal. And so I think that doulas are making good progress in coming in and filling that role and changing the culture of birth itself. Because we've been so afraid of it now for about the last 100 years, as we've pushed everybody into the hospital like they're sick women. And that's not the case. We are healthy and we're strong and our bodies are capable, and we can have these babies.
So that means that the hospital is not our enemy. So we have to get okay, let's just put it this way. The witch has to go into the hospital and do the magic, okay? So we have to be friends in order to get a baby, a healthy baby and a healthy mom.
Right.
And I'm saying this because, like I said before, people still think that we are, like doulas are someone like a curandera or whatever, or a shaman, something like that. Yeah. It could be right in a way, because historically, they were actually the ones.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking like at the roots, like deep back in history. And so obviously culture changes over time. And so now we're trying to find that balance of, you have to be able to go into the hospital and present yourself as a professional.
Yes.
I'm not a crazy person.
We're not going in brooms or,
we don't do that.
We don't go with weird herbs and, things like that. No. And I know that doula means servant, or before it was slave. Right. Of course, the slave was the servant. But we are the servant for a good cause. It's not a servant that we're going because my owner is there. No, right. It's not that anymore. They hire us as a person of trust, and a person who actually will develop a confidence on them. Okay.
And I think that women also have to be able to, when they hire a doula, they also want they need somebody who has a positive relationship with the hospital. I don't work for the hospital. I work for that mom, but my client gets way better customer service. She gets more of the things that she wants. if I have a good working relationship with the hospital, they know that they can trust me to not think that I can like catch babies at home and like come in if there's an emergency. Because I mean, I'm not a home birth midwife. That's not what I do. And so I've worked really hard, at least in my community, and even training doulas to like, I really want doulas to have positive relationships.
And to understand that, because I know that there's a misunderstanding, maybe popular thinking that they, a doula is a midwife is a doula. It could be, but it's not. In the case that it's a doula, you hire a doula only, and if you hire a midwife, it's a midwife. And they have different.
Some people who hire a midwife, like they might have a doula as well.
Oh, yeah. But I'm saying like before, talking about what they do over there, and definitely we are not nurses. No matter you could be and are, maybe some of them. You're not a nurse in a hospital. In a hospital, there's a doctor, and it's good that you mentioned that we have to have a very good relation because the customer service, since you advocate also for the lady.
And I think it impacts, nursing staff and care providers when they see a mom with a good doula who helps her have an awesome experience and not come in as a crazy person telling them, don't do this and don't, because education is a totally different topic. But I think when the mainstream kind of sees these women having these really great experiences, they're like, we could do that. Like that wasn't so bad.
I'm a nurse. I could do that, but I don't want to because I have no time. Because sometimes that's the attitude.
Well, and they are, in their defense, like they're really, really busy.
Yeah, busy. I know.
They're busy. But that's where we can work together to make it so that, okay, you have these other responsibilities and you are busy. You don't have the time to
pamper,
love and brush their hair and all of that. Yeah. But that's what we're for.
Yes, that's what we're for. And I know because a friend of mine, not a friend of mine, a nurse, told me specifically when I was doing one of my watch births in the hospital. She said, we don't have time to do that. You can't do that. Like you're pamper, you're giving them water, you're like massaging them. And I said, I smile and I said, well, you do your job and I do mine. And this is what I'm here for. And then she was like, oh, okay.
And that's nice. So like, I just hope for, like perceptions to change. Like this helps everybody. Everybody wins.
Yes.
Because she can keep doing those things, like all those responsibilities that she has. She can still do those. And she doesn't have time to do those other things. Great. That's why you're here. That's why we have you.
They have to be happy that we are there because then they will not bother as much as they think that they do. So, then another thing that I really wanted to, ask is because daddy is very important.
Oh, yeah.
But before time, that was hidden. And we were actually hidden, the ladies. And then that was outside waiting. Oh my gosh. And walking here and walking there. And and before that time of walking, that was worse because then ladies are sick when they have their menstrual period, we cannot even look at it.
Yeah.
And then when they
So now we're putting the men into this.
Yes.
Now they're there and they're like,
how this
what do I do?
I mean, what's this change about? I mean, how we can provide that? I mean, I say we because I already graduate.
It's a beautiful change right now that dads are in the birthplace more, and they should be there to bear witness to the birth of their family.
Why? Why this is for?
I think that it is really important for the connection for that to happen for mom and for baby and for dad. Like they are a unit now.
That's their baby.
They're a unit. It's their baby and they work together as a team. Like, the doctor's going to go home, the doula's going to go home, and it's going to be them. And it's so important. I think dads get so much also in respecting the mother of their baby whenever they see her go through that process. Like there's just a respect that happens and more love that blossoms. Like I can't tell you how many couples, both the men and the women, that will say, I didn't even realize how much I thought that I loved her before, and now I just love her even more.
Yeah. And I have actually a friend of mine. He saw his third baby born, and it was another lady, and he said that he used to love the lady he was with, but then after that he actually fall in love with her whole package, no matter. And he said that it was so incredible. So we're looking for that, like for daddy to be part of that specific moment and for being actually ready for what it comes.
Yes, and it can be scary for them to go, like, how many births had my husband been to before he was with me, us having a baby? None. And so it's really nice for him to have somebody to just, this is good. Oh, she's mooing like a cow. That's normal. This is good.
It's mooing all of us together.
Yeah, just for somebody to smile at him and let him know this is okay. One of the other trainees during training, she was saying, oh, like when they play sports and like up in the stands, the mom or the dad are like, yeah, you did good. That was good. It's kind of like that, and just helping facilitate connection for the two of them. They don't automatically know that because they haven't been at a bunch of births.
Yeah, I know.
And so,
do we have any male doulas? Like, not the one of the video that we saw. We saw a video of a male doula. But you have to take the training to watch it. So
wait, which one are you talking about?
Nothing.
Okay.
We watched a movie with remember a video with a male doula?
Okay, yes, I know what she's talking about.
But no, I said.
I was like, did somebody come through training and I totally missed it? No, Brody the doula. You can get on YouTube and look up Brody.
Brody the doula. Oh, man, I was just telling them to get the training just to see it. But anyways, so do you have any type of a male coming into training to be a doula?
I have not had a male come to a doula training. We have had actually one guy come through instructor training, though, to teach childbirth classes.
Childbirth classes, yes, because I remember my Brody, actually, his name is Brody, but it was my boss before. He is a childbirth educator.
Oh,
and
really?
when I told him last year that I was gonna be a doula, he's like, oh yeah, childbirth educator, that's what it is. And I said, well, I think that's the second course, but of course he was just telling me that he was, and he got a certification.
Cool.
But you don't have as much as
it's mostly women, because we're the ones, we have those babies and then we're like, oh, this is so great and wonderful, and then it like lights a fire. And so it's primarily a village of women who do this kind of work.
And actually has been like
if you look back centuries and centuries, that's kind of how it's worked out.
That's what is so weird that 100 years now that we gave the midwife business to them, to the male, and it becomes the OB or whatever, but the gynecologist, and it was women.
It's just an interesting shift on how we did things, and now we are seeing more and more female OBs, and not to say that like men don't have their place and that there aren't some fabulous male OBs. They totally exist. But it's just interesting.
Have you seen any male like doing a natural birth, not only vaginal birth, but a natural with a home birth maybe, or a more
I've seen a lot of dads that were so incredible from taking a birth boot camp class that they might as well have been doulas. We would joke that they're doodlas. Doodlas.
That's funny.
So, not professionally, I haven't met any male doulas, but man, my dads, after they go through a birth boot camp class, like,
I think I know how to do it.
They always joke about it, but for their wives, they are there and they're good. Awesome. But they're also really glad to have somebody to help them. Two brains are better than one, and just having that person, it gives them more confidence when they have somebody with them that's this is good, Dad, you're doing good.
Yes, and then the wives are not like, go from the bedroom, I don't want to see
So like when my husband would tell me, you're doing so good, like some women do great with their partner telling them, well, you're doing a good job. Me, I was like, you don't, like, I didn't say this to him, but in my labor head, I was like, what do you know? Like, you never had a baby. So that was me, though. Not everybody's
that might be the reason, actually, why there are ladies more often being a doula than a boy, of course.
Yeah.
And then I really want you to, do the business. So where they can find this nice place or training to become a doula or to become a childbirth educator.
So if you go to birthbootcamp.com, up in one of the corners, there's like a little hamburger menu, the 3 little lines, and you click on that and it'll take you to all the menu options for instructor training. Like maybe you want to teach childbirth classes, and there are also doula trainings where you're prepared to like go to the birthplace and help couples through labor. And also on our website, we teach online childbirth classes. So if you're an expecting mom and dad, you can watch the classes online.
Okay, so they can do that, and there's a
Yes.
cost, there's a fee over there, and also there's a list of doulas that they
Yes.
can find over there. Okay,
Yes.
and now they're gonna be international because I'm gonna be in Honduras, in Utila. So if you want to have an amazing bird, don't hesitate to call me, or at least invoice.
Yep.
I mean inbox.
Inbox.
You know, my English sometimes is not that good. So Haley, thank you for giving me the opportunity to interview you and then to get these people, because I know that we're gonna impact more people now in the website and everything, so they can know a little more about what a doula is and what to expect from a doula. So we remember, we're not a midwife, we're not an OB, we're not a nurse, we're the person who supports and to give you the path to have an amazing bird. And that's actually a slang of the bird boot camp, like to have an amazing birth.
Have an amazing birth. We want
It is
everybody
awesome.
to be able to look back at their birthing experience and feel like it was awesome.
Oh,
So.
thank you. So you have something else to say to these wonderful people who will watch us?
Oh, well, totally. We would love to see you at training. We would love for you, if you're expecting to take a birth class. I know you won't regret it. I didn't regret it for myself, and I was preparing for my 5th baby. You would think that I would already known everything, and it was so helpful for me. So it was so good to get to meet you and spend the last few days with you.
It was awesome. And let me tell you, this lady as an instructor is awesome. She explains everything. She's very energetic, and I will recommend it myself. So here.
Sweet. Yeah, it's been a fun weekend
Yes,
in San
it is.
Antonio.
And we ended. So wow, we have to go. So guys, I see you later. Thank you for watching us, como siempre, en Viva la Cultura. Recuerden que viva siempre la cultura. Y las doulas sí existimos y no somos brujas, ¿ok? Así que aquí tu rumbera del Caribe. ¡Mua! Besitos. Chao, chao. Compartan el video con sus amigos. Share the videos, right?
Yes.
Yes, please share it and like the page. We're here for that. And you see, we're bilingual. Check it out. Bye.